Now, we already know in this country, America, being black, you don't really get too many chances after making a big mistake. But I would like to say there's some other places where you could be black. And can you imagine making a big mistake in a whole nother country, such as Russia? But what's up with y'all? What's up with y'all? Welcome back to Moxy Approved. What's up with y'all, Moxy Mob? You already know what to do before we get into this video. Hit that like button. Make sure you share this. This is a message that we have to pass around our community about one of our own. And also make sure you got that notification bell turned all the way up to all. If this is your first time here on this channel or you haven't done it yet, please do me one small favor and apply pressure to that subscribe button. Apply pressure to that subscribe button. But what we talking about? What we talking about? All right, Brittany Griner, if you haven't heard yet, which I hope you have, she's a pretty popular WNBA basketball player, women's basketball player. I used to like women's basketball when I was in high school until I got to college and I found out that, wait a minute, most of these women don't even like men, and all right, I ain't really watch it ever since then, but this ain't what this video is about. Brittany, she got caught up in Russia before the conflict. She got caught up in Russia because she had a hashish oil cartridge, you know, for one of those vape pens. Now, let me take this time out to say that, all right, you know, when you in a certain city that you're familiar with, you know how you can kind of bend the rules. Even when you in a certain country. Me, when I go out of state from where I'm at now, near New York State, when I go out of state, I know all the rules here. I tend to watch myself going out of state. I double and triple that when you're talking about leaving the country. And I tend to not play no games when it comes to that. This is a situation where this woman got caught with a small vial of hashish oil in Russia. And the charges on that, the sentencing for that is like 5 to 10 years in Russia. But I think it's a little bit more than that. I think that they're holding her for this conflict to have her as a little token. We're gonna get to that in a second. Because they did not really put this information out until recent. She got caught up before Russia went into Ukraine, all right? So the reason I really want to make this video is I came across an article, because I wasn't going to cover this. I'm not going to lie to y'all. I wasn't going to cover this. I came across an article that's saying, why isn't Brittany Griner the #1 sports story? And it pretty much was clear to me why she isn't right now, okay? Let's be real, you know, she's black, got herself caught up in another country. A lot of the black community is not talking about this situation, or they're talking about it in a negative way, because let's be real, y'all, because she's from the LGBT community. This is Moxy Approved. I'm gonna keep it 100% on this page, either way it go. That's why a lot of us content creators are not talking about this situation, because she's LGBTQ, all right? Now, the reason why I wanted to cover this is because she placed herself in a bad situation. Now, people have addictions. You know, I used to smoke damn near an ounce a week. All right, she's a basketball player. Yeah, I think she was stupid for getting caught up like this, but obviously this woman been doing stuff like this. She's been playing for a Russia basketball team for years, all right, because they get paid way more money in Russia than they do for the WNBA. Now, the reason why I really wanted to cover this video is I think it's a shame that the factions she comes from or represent are still not really reporting this story like that. WNBA don't have anything about this on her. And she's one of the WNBA's biggest stars, okay? She's ran up the numbers for women's basketball, period. She's won a college championship. She's won Player of the Year. She's won a WNBA championship, and she got 2 gold medals for this country. So she ran up the numbers for that. What's really interesting to me about this is also Hollywood. I'm not hearing a lot about Hollywood. You know, they like to really speak up for the LGBTQ. Hollywood ain't saying nothing about this. Neither is those white feminists. You know, it's kind of understandable if someone such as myself or other black YouTubers is not covering this story, but I think it's real foul that ESPN is not really covering this story, or WNBA is not really covering this story. So even me as a small-time YouTube creator, I'm like, you know what? Let me go ahead and say something about it, or try to do whatever I can do. Maybe I can spark somebody's mind to do something bigger about this, because to be honest with y'all, she got. All right. Now, there ain't too much I can do for this because her wife said she wants a little bit of privacy off of this, and I understand. But, you know, that doesn't stop me from telling y'all from Moxy Mob, you know, please pray for this woman. Now, I know some of y'all are like, oh, how could you say to pray for her or whatever? She LGBTQ. Look, y'all who been watching this page know I'm a big fan of Yahuwah. Y'all know that's who I follow and stuff like that. And I know from the good book is that he's the one that gives out free will. You can't take free will from anyone, all right? She has free will to live her life the way that she lives her life. To me, she's never came across as somebody that's trying to force her lifestyle on other people, just from what I know. You know, I have checked her out throughout the years, but as far as what I know, she's never came across like that. I mean, a lot of them WNBA players are like that anyway. Well, let's even not talk about that. You yourself watching this video, you have people in your family that are like that, all right? If you think you don't, you probably do, and they probably in the closet, all right? So all of us got people in our family. I got a cousin that's like this, okay? And I would feel real bad if my cousin got caught up in Russia because being black, and I believe she's FBA, we're not gonna just say black over here anymore, FBA and ADOS, all right? Ain't nobody really gonna speak out for her. This government ain't really speaking out for her. They ain't really start negotiations with this. I'm even hearing that there ain't too much that they can do to help her out. It's a 5 to 10 year charge in Russia. In Russia. Now, they don't imprison as many people as America imprisons. America is #1 as far as imprisoning their own citizens. But the people they do imprison in Russia, the jails is pretty psychotic over there. All right. And they just put out her mug shot the other day. And yeah, this looks like fear right here. This looks like a woman who is afraid. All right. Like I said, if this is my family member, if it was a cousin, if it was a sister, I'd definitely be praying and doing anything that I can do to get this person released. What I'm hoping, because some of y'all may know about the civil rights era and how Russians was working with some of our civil leaders, or allegedly, I'm hoping that they will use this as a situation to speak to our black community. Because believe it or not, these other countries are very knowledgeable about how America treats us in this country. The Africans know because they come over here and start talking mad stuff about us. Europeans know also. The Chinese know also, because every time we try to check another country about how they treat their citizens, like not too long ago, this country a couple years ago, they was putting out statements about how Russia likes to treat their dogs. And Russia laughed at that. They laughed at that, like, how dare you talk to us about how we treat dogs? Look at how you treat humans, all right? So I'm hoping that Russia sees us as a different nation aside from this nation, because let's be real, Moxy Mob, we are a different nation, all right? They treat us as a different nation. And if you know what's really real, we are a different nation. What's inside of this nation? We're a different nation. And I hope that they identify us as a different nation and release this woman. All right. I'm not going to just ignore this story because this woman is LGBTQ. She's still one of us. All right. And some of y'all are parents. Y'all may end up having a kid just like this. And, you know, you wouldn't want your kid to get caught up in a situation like this in another country. Okay. So that's all I ask for y'all. There ain't too much more we can do. But I ask for y'all to pray. And maybe we should put some type of petition together or some type of message to Russia that, you know, we pray that they work something out, all right, and let Brittany Griner come back to America. Dave Chappelle, he has a funny old joke that he did in one of his specials where he talked about black hostages are not really worth that much. So hopefully Russia will get the idea and get her out of there. I've seen in situations like this, they release a person and just tell them that they banned from the country forever. Because please believe, if this was somebody white, they wouldn't be saying some of the things I'm hearing, like, oh, well, she shouldn't have did this. She got caught up over there. They would be very much in sorrow for one of their own for getting caught like this in another country. You know, in fact, if this was a white person, they probably already have a hashtag called Save Brittany or Free Brittany. But she ain't white. Well, anyways, y'all know how we like to end our videos over here on Moxy Approved, right? With that water. I see y'all here next time on Moxy Approved.